If you are in a wedding and event venue business, your job is to make this process special. It's part of the process of getting married. This is a huge day for them. This is a huge day for them.
It's very, very fulfilling, very cool when we know that we've done our job, and that's what makes it worthwhile.
Welcome to the Venue RX. On this show, we document and share best practices around owning, operating, and managing world-class wedding venues.
Sam, Wendy Mills, thank you so much for being here on the Venue RX. I'm really excited. We've had some funny conversations right before we got on, and I'm really excited to keep it going here on the show.
Well, thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Well, hey, I realize there's a piece that we should totally carry over. You guys are, Sam, at least you are also into a little bit of tech, right? I'm hearing
a little bit. I'm a wannabe sound guy.
Okay. All right. Have you done, I know you were mentioning a little bit of some of the other services you offer, but has this kind of carried over into some of the things that you offer at your venue as well?
Absolutely. We put in a sound system, started, for corporate events so that we can do other event things besides weddings. So we put in the sound system. And then once we got going into it and I got it working well, then I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and offer some kind of minimal DJ services also.
Awesome.
I think he allowed me to put the building up just so he could DJ. Yeah, don't let him fool you.
I love music.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I was going to say, and it always starts, like, hey, we'll just do it for the corporate events. And then you start, it's a slow drip before you know it,
Before you know it, I'll be at a club somewhere and you'll hear my name, right?
I love it. That's a club.
Sam I Am or I Am Sam. I've got to figure out a good name for me. I Am Sam DJ, right?
Oh my God.
Chat GPT, right? And we were about that. Wendy, let's get it going, right?
Get it going, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. All right, well, today we are going to be talking about your venue, New Branch Farms. I have it on the screen here. Hopefully, we're able to put some shots of it, for everyone to see. And the links will be in the description so everyone can check it out. But can you kind of, for anyone who's listening on the podcast, can you just describe to us what the venue looks like? Where is it located? And, what are you seeing when you walk in the space?
I would say once you're pulling the driveway, you're looking at that. People keep telling us it's the barn dominium style.
Okay.
That's really not what we were going for, but I think we hit it by mistake. But Wendy likes to call it modern farmhouse with a touch of industrial.
Ooh, okay.
Because if on the inside, if I were to move the camera around, you could see that we have 6 glass garage doors that open up. So you can bring, and we could do that if you want. You can see that door right there?
Oh.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we got 6 of those, which means you can bring the outside in or inside out, depending on how you look at it.
Totally. Where's your venue located?
Smithfield, Virginia.
Okay.
We're on 23 acres in Smithfield.
Awesome. And with that kind of indoor-outdoor component, are you heavily limited by seasonality there? Or what are your seasons like in terms of?
Well, we designed the building so that we could do inside events also, meaning, just for example, I know you're in Texas, but if you watch the weather, we just got hit with Ophelia, or what was it, Ophelia? Ophelia. So it came right up, and we had a Friday and Saturday wedding this week, right in the middle of Ophelia.
Yep.
And it was wonderful and beautiful. We did everything inside. And Wendy kind of designed that flow so that if they have to be inside, it doesn't make any difference. Because we tell our couples, no stress allowed. Stress has to stay at the street. It's not allowed in the building. Because we want them to feel good and know that it doesn't matter if it rains. We know they want an outside wedding, but if it doesn't work, it's going to be beautiful inside. And it was. Both events were beautiful.
And with all the glass garage doors, you feel like you're outside. I can sit in here and I see it's all glass. So you feel like you're outside.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Not quite 360, but, pretty close. It's, it's in front of you, and on both sides. So,
Yeah, that sounds gorgeous. I'm curious, how long have the two of you been in business and had your venue there?
Well, I'm an electrician by trade. So I had a small electrical company. I had that for 35 years. Wendy was an office manager. So we did photography on the side. So the whole concept of the venue started with the photography. And that's why you see all the glass, because she's a photographer. She likes the natural light. So that
about 10 years ago, probably about 10 years ago, we came up with the idea and pursued it from there. And I mean, it's truly a blessing from God. Truly, his hand is all in this, because there's no way we could have accomplished this without him.
Average folks.
We are just
maybe below average.
Well, let's tell that story. I'm excited to hear. So could you take us back? Like, let's go 12 years ago. What were the two of y'all doing?
She was piddling with photography at the time and loved to take pictures, and already took a good picture, just tinkering around. And then so it became a little more, let's, take some shots of somebody. And then, she took the New York Photography Institute's class, that whole thing. She did that, to really get all that knowledge base that you can, from all the things that a camera will do and all things you're supposed to know as a photographer. So
then a friend asked me to do a wedding. It always starts there.
Yeah.
Slippery slope.
And then and there's a slippery slope, and then somebody for there, and then you found out more and more the weekend you're doing a wedding.
Yeah, so we got into the photography pretty good, and she says, I want to do something about a place to the photographer's playground, we call it. We opened a company called Photographer's Playground, which was, we were going to do it on 5 or 10 acres, and we were just going to set up scenes all around the lot, and you could just walk from scene to scene taking pictures. And then we said, all right, Mother Nature's going to get in the way. We need a building to put the scenes in. So Mother Nature. So from the photographer's playground and the photography, it morphed into this, because you got to be able to pay for this building that you're doing. So it kind of just changed directions from totally focusing on the photography and the photographer's playground episode, as in, what else can we do with the building? And it kind of came into doing this, and here we are,
And some inspiration for somebody out there who's thinking about building a venue but doesn't have the funds for it. We have investors. We did not know a single one of our investors. It became word of mouth. He met one doing electrical work for him.
I was wiring his detached garage.
Right.
And told him what our vision was. And
yeah.
He basically goes, after we sent him the business plan, it was just for really kicks. And he goes, me and my wife want in.
Yeah. And then he pulled in somebody that he knew. And then we were closing on our house, and our mortgage guy became a vendor. So then that's the 3 that we have. So don't ever think that you can't do it. Don't ever think that you can't do it. Put your ideas together, put a game plan together, and just start talking to people and saying, hey, this is an idea we've got. You would be shocked. Now, again, this was all from above, but you would be shocked. You would be shocked.
Hey friends, Jonathan here. Just want to take a moment and share about Common Sense Events consulting packages. We are really excited to be consulting with a few more companies this year, and we've done it in the past successfully, and it's been such a blast. So this year, we want to take on a couple more consulting clients. Unfortunately, because of the venues that we currently manage and the intention and the focus that we have on that, we're only able to take on a limited amount, but we do have a couple slots for venues. So if you are interested, we have both 90 and 120-day programs available, or we can come in and partner with you on marketing, sales, operations, and help fine-tune any of the systems that are in those categories. So if you are interested in that, we would absolutely love to hear from you and see if there's a way that we could partner with you and serve you at your venue. Go ahead, fill out the link that is in the description in this video or podcast. You can also just send us an email at venues@cseventservices.com, and we'd love to chat with you. All right, back to the show.
But what I'm hearing from your story, though, is you didn't just, talk about this over lunch once or twice and just dream about it. You kind of put some feet to it. It sounds like you had a business plan. Can you tell me some of the things that you had that you were able to kind of bring to those initial, what did you do prior to having conversations with some of those people who became investors?
Created a heck of a business plan.
Yeah.
Did a lot of research. Actually designed the building the way I wanted it to look. And then, like I said, put just a really strong business plan together with a lot of research. And then showed it to him. Said, hey, this is our idea. this is why we think it will work. Here's what the venue looks like. Here's the local venues and then how they're doing. And and then grew from there.
Yeah, that the industry, especially in this area, needed something else that was of a decent size, especially here in where we are. And so she used all the local venues and all they're doing. And you have to, when you're doing investors, you got to do the math, right? So you got to throw in the dollars that are available. And the industry in this area is fairly strong. So there was a need. So.
I'm curious. Now you've been in the game 10 years, you said, right? Is that kind of a good?
Well,
wedding industry.
And the wedding industry, of course, the venue's not even a year old yet.
Oh, okay. So this is what I want to know about the venue. So how long has the venue been open?
October 1st of last year.
Was our first wedding.
Amazing. Okay. So you've been in the wedding industry for 10 years. Venue itself has been open for a year.
Yeah. Not quite it. Yep.
Beautiful. So, Chloe, we're getting on that year anniversary.
Right.
Amazing. What things, looking back at some of the research you did and maybe some of the assumptions that you made, what things now that you're actually running it, you're kind of in the day-to-day,
we're opening a can of worms now.
Oh, yes, I am.
It's a lot more hands-on than we expected it to be. We're very hands-on people, but still, I'd still believe it's a lot more hands-on than we expected it to be.
So for your potential, if there's anybody out there who's listening and want to do, there's one thing that we grossly underestimated, okay? And it's not going to be anything you would think, or time. Yeah. There's only so much of us to go around, and that's what we underestimate, is how much time it takes for us to do the things that we want to do, not only physical work, but the office side, the mental side, meeting with people. It's talking to a guy on a podcast.
I'm just adding to those, things.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
That's what you have to manage. The other stuff is actually unbelievably manageable. The time that it takes from us is what we underestimated. That how much you get pulled into. So
we also underestimated the success of it.
Yeah.
So we're a lot more busy because we're a lot more successful than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
Right from out of the gate.
Yeah, but a lot of that was because of the work we put into on the front end.
Right.
Yeah. We put a tremendous amount of work, effort, social media, bridal shows, going to those things. The amount of work that we did. I'm an electrician, right? So my job is pretty physical. Okay. We're working harder now than we did when I'm out wiring houses and buildings. And that's just what you have to know, that if you're getting ready to go into something like this, that those things are, that you're going to have to go through those growing pains to get, further down the line,
Wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, wouldn't trade it for the world.
It's awesome. It is absolutely, it is amazing.
The two weddings this weekend were just some of the nicest couples, and all of our couples so far, we've been blessed. We, have been wonderful. But because they both had to be inside, there was a lot more intimacy, I would say, in the ceremony. So it was really awesome.
And one of them actually was the very first one that signed a contract ever. The very first one that signed a contract. Yeah. We hadn't even broke ground.
And they sold the contract before we broke ground.
And they booked.
We had 35 contracts. We hadn't broke ground yet. People went with our vision.
Yes.
And what we were bringing to the table. So they put a lot of faith in us. So it was a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, because I'm sure there are some people hearing this, and I've even had some venuers on the podcast that said, I couldn't do that. I had to wait till we were open. And I think they say they regret it now. Maybe. I'm curious though, what gave you kind of the assurance? Because, things are more expensive, take longer, all these different things. How did you know how much time to give yourself to when you could sell that first wedding?
Faith.
We're hard-headed. Yeah.
Faith.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it's as simple as that. We knew there was a need, and we felt like that. I'm a movie guy. I love to watch movies. Field of Dreams, build it, and they will come. That's what we did. All right. Well,
It might not be the best, but
I think it's a great analogy myself, but it's,
it worked for us.
we had to put a lot in. We gave everything to it. But also knowing that the biggest thing is you have to know your area. If somebody's looking to do something, if your area, you need to do your research. If it's not conducive to something like this, then you could be in a world of hurt, And
another thing for new venue owners, if they're putting up a building, in our contract said, if the building is not up, then we will provide a tent. So that was ours.
That was our
That was our backup. It says in the contract, if for some reason it's not completed, we're going to provide what needs to be done to still be able to have this wedding here.
Yeah.
So that helped along the line.
But we didn't have to do that. We got it done.
9 months.
Yeah. And we can't tell everybody the things that weren't done. Those were behind the scenes. We will never tell anybody what wasn't done, because nobody knows but me.
So some of the research, you talked about the research that you did prior to opening. You said you got to know your numbers for the investors. What research, and specifically Sam, and maybe Wendy, you can help shed a little light on this. Like, what are you looking for? What makes it a good space?
Actually, as far as the numbers, Wendy did all that research. I'm going to let her tell you what she did, because I'll probably bungle it really good. So let her tell you.
Yeah. Of course, you map out all of the venues that are in your area, and you want to map out about an hour's worth. So what is around us about an hour's worth? And you map it out. All right, well, which one of those are like what we are putting up? How are those doing? How busy are they? And I didn't mind calling up a venue and saying, hey, my name's Wendy and we're thinking about doing this. Venue owners are great. They don't mind. 99% of them were great and they don't mind sharing. So if you're thinking about doing it, pick up the phone, call a venue owner. They're going to help you out.
Especially if it's a different style venue.
Yes.
And we were different than a lot of the venues in our area. There's really nothing pretty, maybe an hour and a half away that's like what we have. So it was easy to call and make those calls and do that.
And the wedding report. I don't know if you've heard of the wedding report.
Yeah.
They've got great information. That, a lot of my information is based on the wedding report. So definitely pull one of the wedding reports and then go from there. Talk to people. We pulled in vendors. We pulled in caterers. We pulled in wedding planners. We pulled in and said, do we need one around here? Do we need another one around here? Okay. And then what do you suggest we put in it? Like wedding planners. What do you want in a venue? A caterer. What do you want in a caterer's case?
Ice machine is all the caterers wanted.
That's all they cared about. Ice machine. Yes. DJs. What do y'all need to make it successful for you? And so you take all that information and then you design a building around that.
And that's where she got the, how we wanted it to flow and how the things would work. And, knock on wood, it flows really nice.
We get that a lot. We get a lot that our flow is it's a nice flow, that it just runs very smoothly.
I think it's neat that the two of you had industry experience prior to opening, because I bet a lot of what you had seen work or not work at those other places that you had shot, influenced, you're like, we are going to spend the money.
Absolutely.
I call it the grocery store analogy. So you're going through and I'm going, oh, I like some of this, but I ain't taking some of that. That's how we went with the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And then I probably have a little advantage over somebody who's not in the construction industry, because I've been in it my whole life, being an electrical contractor. So I was able to pull in a lot of help with the building for that initial, going up in cost and everything.
And we physically did a lot of it ourselves, because we were in the industry.
Yeah, if we weren't actually doing something, we were helping doing something.
Got it. This sounds like pretty hands-on. So if I were to summarize this, I would say if you're not in construction, you don't have any background, you better find yourself someone who is in construction, someone who kind of knows.
And you trust.
Trust.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Totally.
But it is doable.
I'd like to pivot a little bit. We talked about kind of the build, what you're doing. You're a year in. You said you had 35 weddings booked before you even broke ground.
Yep.
That's correct. What does as you think about the future, What's the plan for the future? Are you trying to hit 100, 200 weddings? Are you trying to eventually start outsourcing and bring a team? Like, what does the future look like for you guys?
Phase 2 of our plan is to have a chapel right beside this building. So if you look at it, if you look on the website there, and if you look at that aerial view of my drone coming in, right, to the right-hand side of the building as you're looking, we're going to put a chapel right there that kind of looks like this building. So we never have to worry about the flip the room thing. Because you've heard the term flip the room, and that's what a lot of venues have to do, including us. So that's phase 2. And then phase 3 will be some tiny homes on the edge of the woods so people can stay here. Because now they stay in our home. We rent our home out, and it was a test to see if people wanted to do that. And of course they do. So we're going to proceed with that too.
Yeah, I don't want to do 120 weddings. 80, 90 weddings a year is way more. Yeah, that's enough. If you really want to be a hands-on venue, you can't do many more than, 2 or 3. We have this month, we have 4 back-to-back. So we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The following weekend, we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The following weekend, we have a Thursday, Saturday, and a Sunday. Is that not but so long you can do that, So
I'm glad I got you in year 1 because you might have not have jumped on this podcast otherwise.
Oh, I'd have said, I ain't got time for you.
I love it.
Yeah, we want to bring in people. We want to bring in, and train people to help.
We're, and that's probably a good thing if somebody's a very hands-on person and they want to put up a venue. I would say you have to do that. We're now at the point where we have to let go because we can't do all this and as much work as it takes. You got to let go some, and we're learning. And we got to, because we want it done a certain way. Yeah, we feel like that's part of our success and part of our calling card. So we're going to get people that will do that, and then slowly let go of some things. Maybe. Just because there's not enough of us to go around.
100%. It makes sense. I'm curious, what are you, as you think about letting go, and Wendy, I know you kind of made that face, you had that reaction to it, but what are things that you're thinking about letting go first? Like if you were starting to let go, what's the order of operations?
Cleaning.
All right.
Moving tables.
Yeah. Because like I said, we have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday wedding, right? Thursday night, we have to get this building ready for Friday. Now, a tremendous amount of work and we were doing it ourselves. But now we've hired a cleaning company and to come in and help with the cleaning / moving and setting up the tables and for the transition for the next day. So we have to let go of the physical things first. I don't know how that is with other folks, but that's what we're going to do, is take some of the physicality off of us and then slowly let go of some of the other office work on her end, because she can absolutely spend one whole day, not just one, but I'm saying she could spend a whole day answering emails and texts and not doing anything else, just those things, because then people need information and you have to give it to them.
And we do not ever want to release is the relationships that we build with the clients, with the couples, because I think that's what makes us special is we are so involved with them and we love them. And by the time it's all over with, they love us, hopefully, knock on wood.
Well, not me so much.
Yeah, they like me. They don't like him. He's just,
But that is, we're
very entertaining.
So I guess we have to learn how to be the face of the business. And that's, even our investors are going, y'all going to have to back off from some of the things because we need you to be the face of the venue. We need to be there for the clients. We can still do stuff and still get stuff done, but we're going to have to give some of it away so that we can be the face of the business, be there for our clients, know that they can trust us, and then we're going to, make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And by freeing yourself up from moving those tables and chairs, it allows you to kind of maybe get some more of that face time. I 100% get it.
Or get some sleep, depending on how you want to look at it.
Sam, you can get to sleep, right? And I heard Wendy's going to be on ChatGPT and
exactly.
There we go. So help me understand, when you rent the venue, if I'm coming in and I want to have an event at your place, what am I getting? Are tables and chairs included? What's the package look like?
All right. For us, what we do is once they get to the contract phase, and let's say they've signed the contract, then it's all up. They get the venue for 14 hours. Okay. So they come at 9 o'clock in the morning. I have to have everybody off the property by midnight. That's kind of the game. And then there's a game plan in there to make that happen, because that doesn't happen in 15 minutes. You know how weddings are if you've ever been to one. So they get 14 hours of venue access. All the tables and chairs are included, including the outside ceremony site. We have 5 or 6 different type of arbors available. We call it our pay it forward pile, because a lot of fathers of the brides or uncles of the brides want to make an arbor. And then before the end of the night, they come to us and, can I leave this here? I don't want to take it home. So we're accumulating
Keeping it arbors all the time.
And so we call it our pay it forward pile. So we allow people to pull from that stuff and use it at no cost.
That's awesome. I'm curious, what type of chairs and tables did you decide to get going into this whole thing?
Well, that's a great story, because, I don't know if you can see back behind us, but we have farmhouse style tables, okay? And we built them. Me and Wendy built 2 together and figured out, what style do we want? What do we want it to be? It's got to be sturdy. It's got to be able to hold up. So we built 2, and then we had a combination of the 2 going to go to 1. And then we had an assembly line. The building was up and done. The framers who helped me build this building, we had an assembly line going down our sidewalk. And because once we had the design, then it's just cut and play, right? It's cut, saw, and put together. So we built all 10 of our farmhouse tables and our sweetheart table in one day. Wow. But
we had it all stained.
Me and Wendy stained out in the field. We stained all the wood. All the wood that you see up there, you can see all the stained beams. Me and her stained every piece of wood in this building. So that's where I was talking about the hands-on part, where we did a lot. So we have 10 farmhouse-style tables, the 8-foot that can seat 8 or 10. Then we also have a sweetheart table. That's what you're sitting on now. You didn't know you were sitting on sweetheart table, did you?
Here I am. No, I'm perched up. I'm comfy. I like it.
But our other tables, are you ready for this? We bought an auction from a school that was closing. So you would go into the school and you would bid on a room.
A whole room.
And we would pay like $10 for a room that had, 48-inch round, nice tables. Yeah. And so we got all the rest of our tables, our rectangles, and our rounds from an auction. Yeah. It cost us more to have them brought here and put together than it did.
Yeah, because I had to have some help. Wendy's, her brother helped us do a bunch of stuff, and paying for that, like I said, we spent more on labor than we did for the stuff. And we did stuff like that to get us our initial thing. So all of our round tables, a lot of our square, what we call your standard, 6-foot banquet tables, all these came from that. And so that kept our costs down. Our chairs, our outside ceremony chairs, we got from a older gentleman who was retiring from he owned a rental company. So we bought 230 some of folding white chairs.
Nice.
And 7 cocktail tables and just a bunch of stuff for not a bunch of money. And then we put all of our money into the chairs you see us setting up. We have really nice resin crossback chairs with cushions. Yeah. That's where a lot of the money went, because that was.
Pardon the interruption, I wanted to take a moment and share with you about Weeva. Weeva stands for Wedding and Event Venue Association, and it is a professional association custom built for venue owners and operators. We felt like there was a lack of resources, community, education, and networking available specifically for our industry, and so we recently started this association, and it's been growing by the day. We would love to extend an invite to you, so please click the link in the description or wherever you're watching this video, and we would love to welcome you into the community.
It's so neat because now you have the options for the couples. And do you build it into like an increased rental package? Like, are you able to charge a little bit more, or you just kind of say whatever you want to use?
Yes. No, it's all included in our package.
Yeah. Wow. We don't like to fee people. We're real big on not saying, okay, you're going to charge you for this, or we're going to charge you for that. It's basically one package, and you get.
And we are doing some what we call upsales, or whatever you want to call it. But it's add-ons is what we call it. But like the photography, that's an add-on. And we can't put that in the price, because we put that in everybody's price. Our price is going to be astronomical. So, we now have dishes that we got from, like you said, almost like an auction type thing. So we have dishes now that we rent to our couples, but we don't want to put it in the price because then our price keeps going up. So we do have a few things that we add on, but the basic venue is the venue. You get it all day. We don't do by the hour things because we got that experience from the photography side of things.
Don't rush people.
Yeah, don't rush people. Don't do the hour. I know you can make more money. We understand that. We very much understand that. But when you tell somebody you get the venue for 6 hours, but we'll sell you for more hours for whatever. We just didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's tricky because depending on the type of venue you have, like I find that urban venues will do that a lot more because sometimes people just want to come in for like a 4-hour or 5-hour birthday party or dinner. It's tough to do it in a beautiful, like fully built out venue though. That's not.
It is.
But we do it. We have people who we do by the hour but not so far. We haven't done it for weddings. We've done it for other types of
We've had
events.
a celebration of life here. We've had a baby shower. We've had a fireman's ball here. Yeah, we've had, some crazy. We had a corporate event. They had a fall family day.
Which is our first corporate event. We just had that a couple Sundays ago, which was awesome. It was beautiful outside, so I helped it.
We had an artesian market one day. It's all these different crazy things that you can fill in on those few dates that you don't have booked.
Yeah. You were mentioning add-ons and different things that you have considered adding or you are adding. I heard DJs in there. You said photography, right? What are some other things? Like, are there any locked categories of vendors? Do you have an open vendor policy? What does catering look like? Tell me about some of that.
Yeah. We have pretty much an open vendor policy. Our vendors have to be licensed and insured, and for whatever their trade is, and we allow our brides and grooms our couples to pick the vendors they want. We ask that they run it through us, so that we can kind of use our experience and our database to say, yes, I think this one would work for you, or maybe this is not their thing, and you might want to try somebody else, type of thing. So.
Makes total sense. Yeah.
But we do have a preferred vendor list. We have a list that we provide them that says, here are vetted, that they've been here. We love them. They did a great job. They didn't pay to get on here. They didn't, call up and say, hey, we would love to be on your preferred vendor list. These were actually here and did a fabulous job.
Yeah, because the gray hair should tell you everything, okay? I'm old school.
I didn't do it. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not all her fault. Maybe mostly her fault, but not. But we're old.
We've been married a long time.
Yeah, we're old school. So to get on our preferred list, you have to do something worthy of being on our our preferred list. So
yeah, you have to prefer them, right? That's cool about.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, we have our lists are like that too, and it makes sense because sometimes for those pay to play things, I know again the venue can make more money, but then it's kind of, I think that adds some doubt in the client's mind if they know about that at all. Then it's like they may not be the best, but they just pay to be here.
Yes, and we're not going to do that kind of thing. Not as long as we're involved.
I love it. Tell me a little bit about your systems. Like, are you using a CRM system? Do you guys use QuickBooks for accounting? Tell me about some of the systems that you use on the back end.
Dubsado for the CRM. Okay. Love it. Yep. And I use QuickBooks.
And Dubsado, explain to me how you're using that. So you're using that. That's the way that the client fills out a lead form on the website and it goes into Dubsado, and then you kind of take them through the entire journey.
So they will go on and set up an appointment for a tour.
Okay.
And that's through Dubsado. It's a scheduling through Dubsado. We get a notice that somebody's scheduled a tour. They get an email that confirms that tour. The day before the tour, I send out through Dubsado, a questionnaire for a couple of reasons, to get some information so that when we greet them, we already have his name and her name, and I'll tell you about that in a second. And then we have a few questions that we ask, what's your guest count, estimated guest count. That does another thing is that tells me that they're going to show up.
Yeah.
Because if they fill that out the day before, that they're going to be there, because they're excited to come. And then, so the day of, when they come in, we greet them at the door. We've got a sign that says, welcome, Sam and Wendy, congratulations. They love that. That is, they take pictures with it. They love that. So if you're a venue out there, I recommend doing that for tours. It's just, it's really personal.
It's a personal touch.
Yeah. And then we got bottled water and we've got snacks. And then they come through and we
which I eat all.
Yes, you do. You gotta keep buying them. So we walk them through the venue and it's not.
Yeah. No.
You guys are cracking me up.
Walk them through the venue, kind of as if it was a guest. You show them the groom room, you show them the bridal suite, and then you show them as though they're a guest coming through. And then after we've met with them, the next day, I send a thank you for coming. Here is a copy of our brochure. Here's a copy of our preferred vendor list. Even if you don't go with us, here's some ideas of some good vendors. We send them our add-ons and we send them my photography gallery so that they have all that information. And it's another touch point. And we've just, from that process, we've just done real well. Yeah.
And for that venue owner or I would definitely, what we're doing with tours, I know there's all kinds of ways, but what we're hearing from the people is that our tours are second to none compared to people in the area. And I would think the people in the area would probably catch up. They need to be more personal. You can't just have an employee who's just doing their job, unless they are a very personable type person that is going to show them that you care and that you want them there. And that's the way when they leave here, whether they use us or not, they know that we wanted them there and we would love to do their event.
Tours last hour and a half.
Yeah.
And the actual tour probably only lasts, 15 minutes. But then we sit down and we ask them, so what are your colors? And, tell me about your engagement story. Because we really do love to hear that. Tell me about your engagement story. Tell me how you met. It's very personal. And as it should be. This is a big day.
On tours, and I'm curious about that. Just honestly, this is an unplanned question, not a part of the podcast really, but just from my own curiosity, doing a bunch of tours myself, do you find that people are just like, you're a stop in maybe a day where they're hitting a couple of different venues and they've got an appointment set up with you and then a few others in the area, and so they're kind of trying to just look at it and move on? Or do you feel like they really want to make that connection? Today's buyer, I guess I'm saying.
They really want to make that connection.
Yeah.
They really want to make that connection. Now, you could just give them a tour and say, thank you. Do you have any questions? Bye. But no, I think that if you are in this business, if you are in a wedding and event venue business, your job is to make this process special. It's part of the process of getting married. This is a huge day for them.
So to answer your question, yes, there are clients they start that way. They come in the door wanting to go through the tour and just boop, boop, boop. But by the end, they're not there. I hooked them. I got them. Yeah. Whether they book with us or not, that's a different thing. But because that's just our personality.
90% of them hug us before they leave.
That's cool.
I mean,
we make it personal. And even if they were that people that were just clicking off, venues going one, by the end, they know that we give a crap. And that's what we like.
Yeah.
That's huge. Because then that it's a memory for them. Even if, like you said, they don't end up going because the date doesn't work, or then they can almost refer you to other people as well. And even though we've already had that
too. Yeah, absolutely. We get a lot of word of mouth.
Yeah.
I love that. Tell me a little bit about your marketing, and we'll kind of wrap up with the marketing piece today. What are you doing? I mean, are you using online directories? Are you doing ads? What does it look like?
Just social media.
We're on the Knot in Wedding Wire.
Okay.
Our social media probably stinks. We do have somebody who's doing it. I hate social media.
So we have
time.
Yeah, we have a guy who's taking to make us better because we just didn't have time. So he's doing a really good job and getting us back on that track where we should be on social media. But we go to the bridal shows. We've been involved in those from the photography side of things. We already have those people know us from the bridal show. So we get lots of leads from that, from Wedding Wire.
Our biggest is from Wedding Wire the Knot and just a Google search.
Yeah.
We don't really advertise anywhere else.
Do you, for your website, do you do anything special in terms of SEO or anything in terms of like trying to show up?
Listen to your podcast. I know I should. SEO. I know I should.
I'm curious because this is interesting. So and you said something I want to ask about Wedding Wire and the Knot. One of the things I love is the answers are not all the same. Like I'll get on with the two of you and you'll say Wedding Wire and the Knot, and we get plenty of leads. It's word of mouth and Wedding Wire and the Knot. And then I could have a podcast and 20 minutes after we get off and they're like, I hate Wedding Wire and the Knot. I don't get any leads from there. So it's really different. Tell me, you're about Wedding Wire and the Knot. Do you feel like you're getting good leads? Like when you hear people not liking Wedding Wire and the Knot, is that confusing?
We get 3-4 leads a day. We get lots of leads, and that convert. I mean, we get lots of leads from Wedding Wire and the Knot. And you're right. Sometimes it might not work for some venues, but for us, it definitely works. Definitely works.
There's a lot of leads coming from the Wedding Wire, but there are a lot that are just doing the thing you're talking about. They're just looking through. But for us, we tried to she did the math and saying, all right, is it worth it to be there and do the Wedding Wire and the Knot based on not only leads, but our conversions, our conversions, people that book with us? And the answer is yes for us.
Can you walk me through how you did that? Because I think that's the most important piece right there. Like you can have an assumption like, oh, we get 100 leads and we're not booking 100 weddings. Well, that's kind of a feeling you have, but have you charted it? So was that like a spreadsheet? How did you?
Absolutely. You take the names every time that you respond to somebody, you take and you write that name down, and then it's not going to be immediately. Within 2 or 3 months, you go back and did they come tour? Did they book? And so you keep a record of that, and you see, and it is definitely worth it.
I mean, you don't get me wrong. You get a lot of leads from Wedding Wire that don't go anywhere, and that's just because people are searching, Yeah. But what we look at the end of the day is, did they book? Did they book with us? And the money that you charge to be here, you have to.
There's enough conversions to make it
way worthwhile.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, even it's funny. We have one venue that's just starting. We got on Wedding Wire and the Knot because we felt like there wasn't anything in the area. So even if we were on Wedding Wire and the Knot, there's not a lot of saturation. So people searching in that area, we would pop up. And it's interesting because even though we haven't booked that many, still for the cost that it was to be on, it still made sense. So even though it wasn't crazy money, it still makes financial sense.
Right.
It does. And that's what you got to look at the end of the day is, what are my bookings? And what are your expenses? What are your, costs? And then what money's left over? That's what you got to look at.
Yeah, I do have to say for the both of them, you have to respond fast.
Yeah.
You can't wait 3 days and respond. If somebody sends you a lead, you need to respond within a couple of hours.
Yeah.
That's probably one thing that I would recommend if you're going to use them. Because people these days, they want fast. They want it, they want it now. So when you get a lead, you need to answer that lead.
Yeah, we're going out to dinner and she's responding to a Wedding Wire lead. Yeah. And, whatever. I mean, that's just what we do, so.
Yeah. So that's a tip. Also is to use what Wedding Wire and the Knot have there. There's all that information that they want you to provide all of that information. And I think that helps a lot too.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, I'm going to ask the question I ask everyone, favorite and least favorite part of venue ownership. And I want to hear from both of you, not, just collective answers. So super, super curious. When do you want to kick us off?
My least favorite is moving tables and chairs. Yes. Again and again. And then
I'm hearing that as a theme. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we're going to get some chair movers. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, and then some of the other physicality stuff too, so.
What's your least favorite?
Least favorite. Oh my, I have a long list. So I have to go with my top least favorite, right?
You're such a nut.
Hopefully talking to some guy on a podcast doesn't make it on that list.
I know what.
Yeah, you're a couple down. Yeah, but you.
I knew that was coming. I had to start that joke on myself because I knew it was going to happen at some point.
I would say, for me, I have to be bad cop.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because there's rules here, and if you don't make people abide by those rules, people are people, and they will just do things that are not conducive to running a good venue. So I have to play bad cop a lot, and I'm not real fond of that. I do it well because, as you can tell, I can be abrupt, but I don't like it. So that I would say that's my least favorite.
Totally fair. And so you want to go back? You want to go give us her favorite, and then end with Wendy on the favorite side?
I would say the favorite is either the bride or groom coming up to you at the end of the night and wanting to hug you, talk to you, whatever, and tell you that it went well, no matter what went on. They loved it, they were pleased, and the mother and father of the bride, and just the interaction with all the folks that were kind of involved, to know that we did our job. It's very, very fulfilling, very cool when we know that we've done our job, and that's what makes it worthwhile. Like the 2 weddings this weekend were probably, just because of the way things were and with the storm and everything, made it a little more that things went well. And it was very gratifying to know that it went well, and very pleasing. It makes it so, it was worth it, me killing myself for 24 hours, So.
Know what you're talking about.
I will step on that along with one of my favorite moments. And we don't do this as much now as we used to. During a wedding, we would walk out to the back of the field, and we would turn around and we would just look at everything going on with all the, inside. You could see them inside dancing. You could see people out in our gathering area talking and everything. That was just such a cool feeling, is to see that and know that all of those memories are going on and happening. And
we actually did this. I mean, we're just kind of average folks, and to go, like she said, to go out there, walk in the field and go, this is here.
This is really here.
Is this real? I had to pitch myself, Did we do that? So it's pretty cool.
That's incredible. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on, sharing your story. And I know it's an inspiration to people who don't have venues yet, but I think even for venue owners who have some experience, maybe they're going through a tough time or something like that, kind of just sharing your perspective, sharing how your journey has taken you, the places it's taken you so far. It's an inspiration for other folks. And so I really appreciate you both coming on.
And we truly mean it. If somebody out there, if you are starting a venue, or you have questions, or, you just want to talk venue, pick up the phone and call one of us, New Branch Farms, Wendy and Sam. Give us a call, and we would be happy to talk to you.
I would love to tell you everything you don't want to hear.
So I'm curious, what is the best place for people to get a hold of you if they do want to reach out?
Probably my cell phone, because she's busy either texting or emailing. So on the website, there's our phone numbers are right on the website, and pull out, and I'm usually answer my phone. If it not, it means I'm on the lawnmower or the tractor, or I've gotten mad at somebody and I've thrown my phone, and now I got to go find it.
Not
fair enough. I love it. Awesome. Well, Sam and Wendy, thank you so much for coming on. This has been great, and I'm excited for people to hear it. I really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you so much.
Hey friends, Jonathan here. Just want to take a moment and share about Common Sense Events consulting packages. We are really excited to be consulting with a few more companies this year, and we've done it in the past successfully, and it's been such a blast. So this year, we want to take on a couple more consulting clients. Unfortunately, because of the venues that we currently manage and the intention and the focus that we have on that, we're only able to take on a limited amount, but we do have a couple slots for venues. So if you are interested, we have both 90 and 120-day programs available, or we can come in and partner with you on marketing, sales, operations, and help fine-tune any of the systems that are in those categories. So if you are interested in that, we would absolutely love to hear from you and see if there's a way that we could partner with you and serve you at your venue. Go ahead, fill out the link that is in the description in this video or podcast. You can also just send us an email at venues@cseventservices.com, and we'd love to chat with you. All right, back to the show.